Every day, trawlermen from Peterhead in northeast Scotland risk their lives to bring home their catch and put fish on our tables. Tonight, there can be only one winner when two skippers go head-to-head in the great prawn hunt.
Full speed muster stations. Fruitful bow attack.
These are the men who do the most dangerous job in Britain.
North at Sierra, south at Sierra, 40s. North 7 to severe gale 9, perhaps storm 10 later.
120 miles from shore, in the icy North Sea, the fishing boat Amity is in the teeth of a storm. Skipper Jimmy Buchan is beginning to fear the worst. His nets are caught on the seabed. Amity is stuck fast and in danger of sinking. The four-man crew working below decks are unaware of the drama unfolding around them. With the nets fast, the boat can't move, and it's at the mercy of the wind and the sea.
Close up the hatches, we're hard fast, the fore wind. Okay, close everything up, make sure everything's watertight.
All the hatches have to be closed to make the boat watertight.
Close the hatch, lads.
First mate Kevin O'Donnell doesn't need to be told twice.
But go, boys, go. If we don't close this door, we could flood here. Flood the engine room, the deck. Water, the boat will go down. We're not wanting that.
Tied to the seabed, Amity is unable to rise in the huge swell of the storm. She's in danger of being swamped by water.
Well, I've heard in the past that the boat skippers have kept heaving until they start heeling the vessel over, and then when you get a heavy sea, the wire doesn't break and the boat can't free itself from the seabed, and you swamp the stern. So I'm very aware that there's a high risk of flooding the stern, and we don't want that to happen.
To save the boat, Kevin and the crew must head out onto the exposed deck, putting themselves at huge risk. If they're washed overboard, the freezing waters will kill them in minutes.
Times like this, everything is running through your head. You're worried about your crew, you're worried about the safety of the boat. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong on a night like this. Very anxious time. Nicholas! Go and get the grinder, take the grinder up here. As a precaution here, we're going to get the grinder ready just in case we can't free ourselves or cut ourselves away from the gear, should anything go seriously wrong.
Last year, 34 of the UK's fishing fleet were lost at sea. To save his boat, Jimmy is preparing to sacrifice the nets, worth £30,000. But before he cuts them loose, he makes one last attempt to free himself.
I'm seesawing with the net. I'm letting one side out and heaving the other, hoping to pull through the fast to get the net clear of the outstroke. When that happens, I will be relieved. At the moment, I'm quite tense. Get in! You were heaving the net drum, we're just getting the bracker.
As suddenly as it began, something on the ocean floor gives way. Amity is free again.
I think we're free now. I think she's clear now, Kevin! Ooh, big relief.
Jimmy has saved his crew and the boat, but his nets have been ripped to shreds.
The catch so far in the fish room is about £3,500, and the damage to the net is about £2,000, so we've burned about £2,000 of fuel, so we're now 3 days into a trip, and we're further in debt than we were when we left the harbour.
One of the most dangerous jobs in the world, they say. I would say they're right. Whew. "24 hours out of Peterhead Harbour,
Fruitful Bow, which fishes for prawns, is at the start of a 10-day trip. This state-of-the-art fishing boat is owned by the West family, a fishing dynasty that stretches back well over a century. In charge is the ambitious and extremely successful James West. He was only 19 when he first became skipper, and at 29, he's still one of the youngest in the UK.
The next 5 minutes is going to be our telling point for us.
His brother and second in command of this £1.5 million boat is 24-year-old Robert.
Squad! That's what we like to see! We're out there to make money!
At just 21, Andrew is the youngest of the three brothers. He's the rookie, and he's only been at sea for 3 months.
This is by far the best haul we've had. Like, I would say I'm not very good at guessing, but I would say there's 55 stone there. Absolutely brilliant. Sure.
Another big haul for a Fruitful Bow.
Great!
The prawns that Fruitful Bow have caught are not destined for prawn cocktail. These are some of the biggest and most prized cold water prawns in the world.
We've just selected through all the prawns here, and this is just a different selection of prawns. That's probably a decent enough prawn. It's a good size, it's still alive, you see it. So that's what we're looking for, a good, decent sized prawn. Couldn't get fresher than that. Absolutely excellent.
Lurking amongst the prawns is one of the most feared fish in the North Sea.
That's what we call a pussy cat. It's a catfish. Catfish, very dangerous.
Scampi.
Very strong teeth there. Its teeth. Take your finger off. I've heard some people, some fishermen, getting bitten by a catfish right through their toppers, their boots. Very, very painful. I wouldn't like it myself. Right.
It's the biggest haul that rookie Andrew has seen since he started his new life at sea.
I want to be a fisherman basically because the rest of my family's involved in the fishing and I really enjoy it. It's good banter aboard a boat, but one of the best things when you're out at sea is to get a really big haul. It's one of the most satisfying things you can get and it's quite exciting as well.
Once sorted, the prawns and any fish they catch are stored in the fish room. It's a giant fridge about the size of a small terraced house. To get the prawns to market in perfect condition, Robert covers them in liquid ice.
And all this slush ice, it's some small particles and it goes right through into every small space in the box. And the idea is the quicker you can get your product cooled down, the longer of shelf life you'll get for the consumer.
With their nets freed and the storm behind them, the crew aboard Amity is also hunting for prawns. Skipper Jimmy is shooting his 2 spare nets from the back of the boat, which will be towed for 6 hours along the seabed, 450 feet below.
If this is the stern of the vessel, we've got the trawl warps going out like this. And you've your otter boards here. And from here to here is 600 feet. And from here to here is 360 feet. So there's a huge opening on the trawl mouth. And then the nets are 600 feet behind us. So it's a huge amount of gear on the seabed. And so here I come, coming along, trundling along at 2.5 knots with my twin trawls, and Freddie the prawn has strayed too far from home, and it's for him, he's in my net. I mean, basically, it's just a big tractor. A farmer goes out, he sticks a plough in the back, and he goes up and doing, well, it's okay, it's not a plough, but it's the same idea. It's just similar to a tractor. I've got my trailer on behind, and I'm hoping to fill the trailer and head on home.
Jimmy needs a good catch to pay the crew, who depend on a share of the boat's profits to feed their families. The size of their share is determined by their age and experience.
Lot of pressure on him. He's got 7 families to feed. 7 families he has to try and keep going when he's out here. So he's trying his best up there, and we're trying our best to keep our cool down here.
I think maybe value 300-400 pounds. It hardly paid for the fuel for this tow. We need 2-3 times that amount.
Desperate to bring in a good catch, Jimmy decides to shift ground in an attempt to find the prawns. He's heading for one of the deepest areas of the North Sea.
This area is called the Devil's Hole. The good prawns, the ones we want, are always in the dangerous area. Whether they're large stones or torn nets, or... If we get it to work, then it can be good for us, but if it works against us, it will destroy me. Because I've had to come in from here before with no gear to shoot. And then you've got to spend the next 3 or 4 days on the quay repairing your gear. And that's not good for morale.
Kevin is expecting trouble.
You can do a lot of damage down here where we're going. They don't call it the Devil's Hole for nothing. It's a bit of a risk to take, but it's a risk going anywhere out here. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Better be.
Jimmy's rival, Fruitful Bow, is already fishing at the Devil's Hole. Young skipper James is hoping for another big catch of prawns.
I'm hoping there's a good haul, but I am kind of quite ready for there maybe being quite so much. Just everybody's a bit tired and it affects everybody. It's been a tough day today. Long hours.
The crew pays a heavy price when they get good hauls. They might be in the money, but they have only managed to grab a couple of hours sleep in the last 24. After 9 years at sea, deckhand Kenny knows the risks of working when you're tired.
When you're sleepy, a lot more accidents will happen, because it's not just you that's sleepy, it's the whole crew. And accidents will happen when you're tired, especially up in the wheelhouse.
Andrew! How much you hoping for this time?
Looks like a good enough haul again, so the fine please get a bit more into the howl. Want more money? No sleep though.
Yeah, thumbs up, yep. That'll be another 15 bucks or something, but that's what I'm looking for. So what a life about the prawns there, kicking. That's all I like to see. This is just coming up a day and a half in. So, hey, to be able to get on that patch for us prawns already, we're doing all right. So we've got maybe 4 or 5 days to go. So it's actually looking okay to be hitting a patch of prawns so early on in our trip. If we can keep us up, it could be a cracking trip. That'll keep everybody happy, including me.
And me.
And me, baby.
With the prawns packed away, the crew finally have a chance to eat. Fruitful Bow takes its name from the Bible. Traditionally, fishermen in northeast Scotland are religious, and the young crew are no exception.
All right, boys. Dear Lord, we give thanks for this food. Bless it to us. In your name, amen. Amen.
But they don't buy into the superstitions that used to rule the fishermen's lives.
You're not allowed to say salmon on a boat, but I'll take my chance. You're not actually allowed to say that. You're not allowed to. But it's like bad luck. But I don't believe in bad luck as far as that's concerned. You're not allowed to say rabbit.
I actually said rabbit at sea, and the haul after that, I jumped down in the deck and went over my foot and tore ligaments in my foot. So if that's anything to do with it, I don't know.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have a girl aboard a boat. It's very, very bad. Aye, if a girl steps aboard your boat.
These guys must be more superstitious than what I am. It's really not bothering me the fact you're not actually supposed to you're not supposed to wash out your sugar bowl. It's one of these things. It doesn't mean anything. I don't believe in any of these things. I didn't want Fruitful Bow to be associated with being any superstition.
James and his brothers don't have the prawns to themselves. They have to compete for them with boats like Amity, their main competitor. Skipper Jimmy is about to start fishing on their patch, the Devil's Hole.
Wiggy, 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 zero, more than 15 minutes, zero, get us ball.
One of the things that you learn aboard a fishing boat is they always like their tea before they haul, before they go on deck.
It's 5 in the morning. Dougie the cook and Kevin first mate talk prawn tactics.
Well, we'll see if the prawns just take it in the dark or no, eh?
I hope they're awake, because I'm not. Yeah, still sleepy.
Oh, kid. Oh.
Not too many people goes to bed at 2 o'clock and have to get up 3 hours later to go to work again. Right, suck it off. Everything we're shooting out here is probably worth about 10 grand each. Both nets, 20 grand maybe. We've got doors, clamp, wire. We're talking about 30 grand, 35 grand going to water here. A lot of cash. You don't want to lose that.
Early morning's usually the best for catching the prawns. They seem to come out their mud holes just as daylight is breaking.
It's been a good while since we've been fishing down here. So we don't know if there's any new obstacles in the ground down here. If we only knew what was down there, but we don't.
Jimmy and his crew are 100 miles from their home port of Peterhead in northeast Scotland. It's the UK's largest fishing port. Last year, over 130,000 tons of fish and prawns were landed, with a value of £96 million. Hoping to add to that tally is 25-year-old deckhand Alan Dennison, who's preparing for a fishing trip.
Why are you putting them in the bag?
Because of Daddy's sea shoes.
Yes.
It means leaving wife Lisa, 7-month-old Alex, and 3-year-old Libby for 10 long days.
Would you like it if I got a short job?
I don't know, I don't think I'd mind.
Would you prefer it then if I got a short job?
Yeah, I suppose I would.
Would you?
Yeah.
See, I just don't think I could handle a short job. I hear ya! You don't like it when Daddy goes to sea? You don't like it at all?
No.
See you later, Al. You gonna be good? See you later. See you later, Lebs. Is that a kiss for your lizard too? Okay then. I'll phone you if I'm in range, okay? See you, Lebs.
Bye.
Alan is a deckhand on the whitefish boat Ocean Venture, which is due to set sail at midnight. But Peterhead is in the grip of a storm. The weather doesn't seem to deter the skipper, John Buchan, who is busy preparing to go to sea.
9 o'clock next, southerly.
As you hear, the weather's not going to be very good tonight. Not tomorrow, but the direction we're going, it'll be in our stern. 35 to 42, it's a force 7 to force 8. And it's up at 45, it's gusting force 9, which is pretty poor.
6 years ago, John and his 2 brothers took on a huge loan to buy Ocean Venture for £1.5 million. To repay the debt, the boat needs to catch valuable haddock and cod, and to do that, he has to travel to the most distant regions of the North Sea.
This is Peterhead, it's more or less the most northeasterly point in Scotland. And we'll be leaving here tonight and steaming about 180, 200 miles down into this area of the North Sea, right in the middle between Norway and Shetland. It'll take us about 24 hours to steam there, weather permitting, and then we'll be working further north, I would think. It all depends.
You better hope this weather calms down a bit or you're in for a right old rolly thing.
Aye, it's not good fishing in this area in bad weather.
There are warnings of gales in Cromarty and Forth. Northwest, gale 8 to severe gale 9. Rain, moderate.
The last boxes of food are being loaded onto Ocean Venture. Most of the fleet is sheltering in the harbour, but John's decided to leave to be one step ahead of them.
It's not looking very good because the weather is very bad, still very bad, but we still to go. Needs must. The bank manager's waiting in his pound of flesh.
At midnight, the Ocean Venture steams out of harbour and into the storm.
There's not usually much to do the first day or so. It's usually the second day. Once we get to the fishing grounds, that's when the fun starts.
There'll be little chance for sleep in the days ahead, so the crew take the opportunity to grab some rest.
Dream about when I'm going to get home.
Travelling at 14 miles per hour, it will take 24 hours for Ocean Venture to reach the fishing grounds. It's dawn, and Jimmy is trawling along the Devil's Hole. But his arch-rival, Fruitful Bow, is there too.
I've now got the Fruitful Bow on my radar here, closing me in. 2.6, 2.8 knots. I can visually see him now.
They both want to continue fishing for prawns down the narrow 20-mile ravine, but there's a problem. There's only room for one boat at a time. Having reached the end of the trench, Fruitful Bow is intending to come back down. Jimmy needs to turn now to get in front, but that's not possible with his nets in the water.
I want to haul my gear before he's down on top of me. So that when we're on going north up the hole, I'm in front and he's chasing me. It's now cat and mouse, it's Tom and Jerry. And I want to be Tom. I'm going to tell the crew, full speed muster stations, Fruitful Bow attack.
Full steam ahead.
The faster the crew can get the nets on board, the faster Amity can get in front. After 3 days at sea, Jimmy is fighting for a good catch.
I'm watching him on the radar and he's speeded up, he's giving her more revs. So I think he knows what I'm up to and I don't think he's very happy.
Despite Amity's best efforts, she can't compete with the state-of-the-art Fruitful Bow. The brothers' boat has made the turn first and is now heading back up the trench to scoop up yet more prawns.
Getting better and better, hole by hole. Yeah, fantastic. That's what we're here for. So we're on the prawns.
They may be competitors, but the two skippers are still friends, and James calls Jimmy on the radio to compare notes on their holes.
There's 21 box of prawns, Ross, just now, look.
It's about 19 more than I have. Hence the reason why I've got a face like a scalped backside. And if you're wondering what a scalped backside is, a bottom that's been turned upside down and hit real hard.
This time, youth has triumphed over Jimmy's 20 years experience as skipper.
Another disappointment again. Just can't seem to get my hands on the prawns. James has got a good haul again. So he's doing something different from me and I need to know what it is.
Having steamed through the storms, Whitefish boat Ocean Venture is now ready to make its first haul of the trip.
Come on, brother. Come on, brother, let's get this show on the road. Because we are the A-team.
Skipper John Buchan hopes that the gamble of leaving a day ahead of the rest of the Whitefish fleet, which is still trapped in the harbour by the storm, will prove to be a risk worth taking. For the boat to survive as a business, every haul has to make money.
The main thing is the crew's got to get a wage. I can't take 6 men away to sea, we'll have 3 men ashore as well. They've all got to be paid for. So we've got to be successful. We can't come out here and just play about for 10 days and go home with nothing. Hopefully we won't, like. but we've got to catch fish.
But catching fish is not an exact science, as deckhand Jonathan knows.
The net will just be coming off the bottom just now.
There are never any guarantees. John and the crew are hoping for at least 50 boxes of haddock from this haul.
I don't think there's just an awful lot there. Maybe one lift, maybe 15 boxes.
John's gamble hasn't paid off.
I need 3 times that amount.
They were looking for lots of expensive haddock, but got cut-price coley instead.
When you get bigger things in your goldfish tank.
The fish that they have caught need to be gutted. The small fish by machine and the big ones by hand.
Well, we're just told there, you know, with about 15 boxes, it's mostly coley. And I'm just counting it out just now. We bought about 900 to 1,000 litres of fuel to catch that 15 boxes of coley. The fuel was, on Monday it was 29 pence a litre. So it's about 290 pounds of fuel burned to catch 15 boxes at maybe 20 pound a box for coley. 300 pounds. So we've gained 10 pounds. That's without the wear and tear in gear. So we're going astern. I hope the bank manager's not watching this one.
They're having no better luck aboard Amity, where Kevin's getting ready to pack away their latest disappointing haul.
That's us down in the fish hold now, boys. We are underneath the water. This is where the real men are. I'm just going to get the prawns off Dougie. Right on, Doug!
It's a box of small, boy.
Box of small. That's 11 boxes we've filled this haul. Very poor. We need to be doubling that because we've got 450 of these boxes to fill.
Viking north at Sarah, south at Sarah, 40s. Cyclonic 5 to 7, becoming north 7 to severe gale 9. Perhaps storm 10 later in 40s. Wintry showers, moderate.
The violent storm that was hanging over Peterhead is shifting towards the Devil's Hole, threatening the safety of both Fruitful Bow and Amity.
What I see is not what I wanted to see. I see probably force 8, even force 10. Force 10 we don't want to see.
Tomorrow on Trawlermen, the Devil's Hole lives up to its name as the 2 prawn boats become caught up in violent seas. Extreme weather conditions test the nerves of James and his brothers, pushing their boat to its limit.